All right, here we go. Season is upon us. Beautiful day. We have like 2 days of sunshine. So I'm gonna get a bunch of field work done today and tomorrow. And then we're back into rain and snow. Right now I'm just waiting for my buddy to stop by so he can get this Cultipacker that he's gonna use for a couple days. So he can get stuff done before the rain hits. And yeah, meanwhile I'm just gonna keep cleaning stuff up around the farm. I'm back here on Blue Fox Farm full time now. A lot of developments for this year. I'm going to be growing for the food bank, local area food bank, probably for some of the schools. I'm taking this coordination position for a food hub that we're trying to get going, and keeping art alive and well on the farm as well. Those are kind of my goals for this year. Grow a ton of food, support Matty B with Intergalactic Acres so he can find success in his garden and his goals, and yeah, we'll go from there and keep taking old garbage away. That's what we do. It's just part of the farm world, is collecting stuff and getting rid of stuff, unfortunately. Got the table set up for me. So what's going to happen in here is Matty B is going to keep his propagation area of the greenhouse on that half, and I'll have my propagation on this half. And I should be able to fit everything I need on these two tables. Maybe at some point I might need the third table, which is over here, but then that means I got to move the combine and all the old tarps and stuff from over there. But that's what I have to do. That's what I have to do. So now I'm gonna head up, get the tractor hooked up. Got a couple other little things I gotta fix down here. Just some hose leaks, put some new gaskets in, and then get out into the field and get some stuff turned under. I think the morning dew has dried off enough to go hit that. So that'll be the next spot out there in the field. All right, so we're gonna go check the soil, see if I can till, because I don't think I want to disc out here again. I think I want to till again, or till the first time. But it might just be a little bit wet still. If that's the case, then we'll go ahead and disc. No, I think it's going to be all right. Yes, I think I'm going to till in here really shallow, like just a skim till, and that'll kind of knock some of these grasses, and it's probably grasses and leftover oats out here. It'll probably knock them back a bit, and I'm just skimming just below the surface to knock this stuff. See, it'll take stuff like this and flip it, but I don't want to go too deep, because as I get deeper, it definitely gets a little bit wetter. But the surface, the top 2 or 3 inches, is really nice right now. So get that, because this is the area that we're going to be planting in first. And then if I have time towards the end of the day, then I'll put the flail on and start flailing the rest of this cover crop, and then the rest of the cover crop that's down there. That's not a very well established cover crop, but it is nonetheless. I don't think I will till this area that I plowed. I won't till this quite yet. I would like to disc this first, because see how it's kind of rough in here? If I disc it first with the bar on the back, the leveling bar on the back, that will really help smooth this whole area out. You can kind of see the difference. See the difference over in here where it's like way more level, and then you get into here where it's real rough. So that's why I'll disc it as well. So we'll see what we have time for today. But that's what we're gonna do for right now.
Move the pipes around to manage, full coverage.
Yeah. In the greenhouses?
Yeah, just finding like dry spots.
Yep.
At this point, I've moved the pipe around so much that I've got, both of the different wobblers.
All intermixed.
Yeah, just like.
Yeah. And it seems like those impact sprinklers are just too much for in there. So it's almost like it's probably gonna, I was thinking about it over the weekend. I was like, the greenhouse / nursery industry probably knows best that we should probably go with some overhead nursery sprinklers next year, and it's going to be a lot more sprinklers per house, but then you just get more even coverage. And then you run that spaghetti tubing from the ceiling, so you just run black poly. I think the thing that we did in the past that we shouldn't have done was run PVC over top. We should have just run black poly and just use one of their systems. So because that PVC got really brittle after a while.
That makes sense.
And then if you get the ones with spaghetti tube, you can drop the spaghetti tube down, and so it can get lower. But then if you're in there driving, you just drive through them, and then they just kind of sweep past you.
Yeah, they tickle you on the way by.
Yeah. So I think that's probably for the future that'd be the deal. But I think that these risers that we have, I think those risers would feed what we need for in there to do them. So yeah,
it'd be a good winter project.
Yeah, great winter project. Yeah.
Put
So
canopy on it.
yeah, exactly. Let's see. So that's gonna be all right. So let's measure. We're gonna measure from here, the starting point. Let's see here. All right, so we're gonna measure from here, the starting point. We're gonna go this way. So the reason I'm measuring this right now is because the far end of the field, it's really easy to get off of square. So what I have down at the other end of the field is a marker that I use every year. So I know that it's at a 90 degree to this line of risers, if that makes sense. So I measure over to where I'm starting down here. And this is, somewhat accurate. I wouldn't call it like home building accurate because I'm bouncing over all the rough soil, but it always gets really close. So I'll measure down to here where I'm gonna start. So we're gonna be right here to this is, so 317 feet. All right, so now we'll head down. All right, so again, now we're gonna run catty corner to the field, to the marker, and then we'll measure from that marker down 317 feet, which, I wonder if I have anything down there to mark with. Good question. I may not. Not a big deal though. Find something. So down here I have a big old piece of concrete that is my marker, but that concrete isn't the only thing. I've got a flag that's buried in the fence line that's the actual marker that we did with a builder's level years ago to make sure we basically shot with a transit to make sure that we got perpendicular to make the field square. The only downside to just, instead of starting at the end of a field, just because of the way we rotate, we kind of start out in the middle of the field. And so that's the one downside. Because if you get off with your first beds, then all the beds are off during the season. And then once you get to the end of your field, you end up with these like pizza shaped empty zones that are just wasted. So try to avoid that if at all possible. Because that's always frustrating when you do that. Okay, so we're to my concrete marker here, and you can see I've got I don't know if you can see it or not, but there's a flag in there, somewhat visible. All right, so I'm gonna reset the gauge to 0, and now we're gonna walk. Here we go. One of the other things I got to do here shortly is pull our fence line back up. Part of our fence line fell down, because the wooden posts have rotted out after 15 years or whatever. And the folks that own the other side of the fence here, they cut all the blackberries out this year, which is great because blackberries are annoying, but it also was the support that was holding the fence up. So we have this area up here where the fence fell. So I gotta pull that back up. Yeah, right in here. I gotta pull that back up before the deer start figuring out the fence is down. Because if they figure that out and start their pattern, oh man, it turns into a mess. All right, so we're at, okay, 317. So this is the crazy thing, and I have to trust myself on this one, is the way that I've been disking is off. It's off by about, let's see, let's mark this here. So my eye says that right here is squared off of everything, and it's actually not. It's actually about, I'd say 20-25 feet off. So this is where it's worth laying it out properly, because that would have been, you know, that's like probably 4 beds worth that I would have lost at the end. So we'll set up off of this, and that'll be that's how we'll do it. All right, so now I'm gonna hook my tiller up. Okay, so I got that set up. Now I gotta go down to the other end where I marked it and then drive back over to this post right here. And it's gonna look crooked at first, but should be accurate. So I got these 2 sections down here all finished up. Got them tilled, the primary till, kind of a shallow skim till. It's interesting if you look at, I don't know if you can see or not, but here's the line that I had plowed at, and then once I corrected to make sure that it was perpendicular to the hoop houses down there, there was that much of a difference. So I don't know if you can see, but like here's the plow line and then there's my tilling line. So it's quite a difference. The interesting thing, just shows how off one's eye can get when you're out in the field. By the time I got down to that end of the field, it had almost corrected. So somewhere in here, when I was plowing, I probably just started, I started creeping one direction, and it kind of made it like this. So this area in here will be kind of interesting when I go to work it up, which I'll probably just go through and disc all this first. And then once I get over into here, I should be able to course correct, which what I'll do is this post here, I'll go down to the end and measure off of the other post that I had, and then make sure it's all lined up before I turn all this under. So now what I'm going to do is I'm heading down to my perennial zone, which is down there, and getting that turned under, because that's where I'm putting raspberries, blueberries, strawberries, some artichokes, and I don't know what else I'm going to put down there. Maybe some poppies. I have some poppy seed around that my friends who were here before left behind, so I'm going to seed that. Those are really beautiful, just for visual more than anything, which would be cool. But yeah, that'll be my perennial zone. And then if I have time today, I'll get up into the upper flat up there, and that's where a lot of my seed crops are going to go. So we'll see what I have time for, but that's where we're at for right now. Alright, so this is the perennial area. This is also my stash of all my irrigation pipe. Kind of crazy. So perennial area, probably raspberries, blueberries, strawberries, something like that in here. I'm just starting with a bed of each, and I'll add more perennials as the years go along, but that's the idea, is this whole zone will be perennial for a while. This is the areas that our hoop houses used to be. All those hoop houses down there used to be here, and then the county made us move them. So that was fun. But anyway, really good soil here. And so what I'll be doing is I'm prepping all these beds just to knock down all the weeds. That's basically what I'm going to be doing this year, is knocking back weeds, like the weed seed bank. So there'll be a lot of extra tillage this year just to knock weeds back until I get things under control. And then we can go to like lower impact kind of techniques, even though I still always till. But anyway, but over in here for the perennials, I'll probably hill these beds up, make them raised up a bit. I have these big disc killers that I'll be using for that. And then I'll get them established, and then once they're established, I'll probably put landscape mulch down on either side of the raspberries, blueberries, and strawberries, just because I just don't have the labor to keep all the weeds under control otherwise. So anyway, that's kind of what I'm up to here. I am headed down to look at an irrigation problem with Maddie B, and then I'm gonna till the upper pasture up here where all my seed crops are gonna go, and that'll probably be it for the day. All right, so this is the area that I'm gonna be growing seed in this year. I've like got tomatoes, peppers, sunflowers, and sweet corn is all going to go in here. And then this is also going to be test plots for some other stuff too. So like lettuces and stuff like that. Yeah, so I'm going to do some weird tests with some lettuces to see what I can do with my cultivation setup, to see how aggressive I can get with lettuces and cut out a lot of hand weeding. I'm going to really see what my finger weeders can do this year, so hopefully other folks can use the stuff that I learned to make their lives simpler. We'll see. Anyway, I'm going to shoot another time lapse here for this space. All right. All right, so normal little snafu. Broke my shear pin on the tiller, which is a good thing. It's better than breaking my tiller. I just got to go find another shear bolt. All right. Gonna need both hands for this one. Start digging. All right, whoop. Found a handful. What's gonna work for today? I'll have to stop by the hardware store and grab what I need tomorrow, but this will let me get finished for today. Just gotta remember where everything is. Just figuring it out. All right, let's go finish this field up.